Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Shara Prophet. For those of you who do not know me, I am a behavior modification specialist and I'm certified in clinical hypnotherapy. I'm the founder of the Be Magic School and Open Door Hypnosis, which is a private hypnotherapy practice. And I am back right now for kind of like a part two of the DNA mutation, but I'm also here to speak about some of the downloads and revelations that I've received about the current California wildfires. I live in LA, so I am, seeing all of this stuff take place around me. Thankfully, the fires have not, affected my particular area, but the air quality is absolutely terrible. So I just stayed inside today. I won't even let my cat outside. Um, but before we get into that video, I want to let you guys know that I have teamed up with Lavette Men, who is the brand educator for Blue Diamond Brands on our new channel called Deceptive Figures Exposed. And that channel is dedicated to unmasking the truth behind a lot of the facades of public figures and elites, influencers, celebrities, and even your everyday average Joe. So if that's something that sparks your fancy and you want to learn about the psychological as well as commercial branding and behavior and spiritual side of certain individuals that we are showcasing and covering, then I highly recommend that you go over to that channel and go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you click the notification bell so that you're notified whenever we go live. We actually stream live every single Tuesday. So be sure to join us over there. All right. And if this is your first time here on this channel, Open Door Hypnosis TV, go ahead and make sure you subscribe as well. All right. So let's go ahead and just get into this. The other day, I uploaded a video called DNA Mutation for people who have experienced chronic upper respiratory issues. Now, it's so interesting that that download came to me literally earlier this week, okay? It came to me earlier this week while I was hiking. And you can go back to that video to get, all of the background and all of that. I won't get into that here because I don't want to stay too long here, but it's interesting that, excuse me, that particular download came in when it did, literally a couple of days before these wildfires started. Okay. I talk about how we have received these DNA mutations or upgrades to actually assist us with being able to withstand some of the toxins and the biological and chemical warfare, as well as some of the natural emissions that will be taking place on the earth. And here we are with these fires that have popped up all over the place. And the thing about these fires is that, like, I've been living in California now for over 20 years. Okay. Um, yeah, last year was 20 years, so I'm moving into my 21st year of living in California. We have wildfires every single year. Okay. It's like a weather pattern for us. You know how some places get a lot of rain or whatever, they have like their snowy season or whatever. Well, we have wildfire season. Okay. Um, Now, I live in the city center of LA. I live in LA proper, okay? So I'm between downtown LA and Culver City, and I'm pretty close to the beach. So we generally don't ever see a wildfire. We may get some smoke every now and again in the air, but never ever has it been like this. Even on the news today, they were saying that fires are now breaking out across LA in areas where they've never had fires before, or they haven't had fires there for multiple generations. So these fires are unlike any other fires that we have seen, especially since I've been here for over 20 years. Okay. Um, so a couple of things that came in is that this is also part of that activation, okay, that's taking place. And now I'm hearing activation ritual. All right. So this is one of the reasons why I had to come back and add on to this since these fires have started. And first of all, I do want to take a moment out to just send love and send good energy to those who have been directly affected by this. I have friends who have been directly affected by this, clients and associates and friends of friends who have lost their homes. People have lost their places of work. Some kids have lost their schools. So this is very heavy. It's a lot going on right now. I also just dropped a meditation ritual video literally about 20, 30 minutes ago. That ritual video is to help with us to collectively visualize the extinguishing of these fires. Now, this is a process that I use with natural disasters. The last time I used it was with that really big hurricane that was like, I think it was like coming toward Texas and Florida, and it was like going to be like a category 4 or 5. And um, on Facebook, we collectively visualized that the hurricane was growing smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And we were able to take it from a category 4 down to a 1 overnight. Okay. Which saved a lot of destruction and trauma for people. So I uploaded this video for the meditation ritual for the California wildfires for restoration and protection so that we can quickly, energetically mitigate these fires and get them, really, really low to fully extinguished. Okay. So if you're interested in joining the collective for that, then I highly recommend that you go back and watch that video and join in the visualization. I am uh I've been doing, hypnotherapy now for about 10 years. I teach it, I certify other practitioners in clinical hypnotherapy as well. So it is a safe visualization. It is a safe guided meditation to do. And I say that because there are many meditations online, on YouTube, from people who are just using ChatGPT, to write these scripts for them. They don't really understand um, how to fully do these meditations in a way that is safe for people. Okay. So I am well trained. I am a trainer. I train trainers in this line of work. So I just wanted to say that it is a safe place to go and listen to guided meditations and hypnosis journeys. All right. I do have several other hypnosis journeys on this channel as well. So, you can go back and watch that. I don't do it that often anymore. Um, I just don't because I have people that pay me lots of money to do hypnosis journeys for them. So I stopped doing it on my YouTube channel, but there's still tons of hypnosis content there. Okay. All right. So let's get back to the subject at hand. Um, so this is a part of the activation ritual, these fires. All right. Now, granted, I do believe some of these fires are arsons, okay, because there have been smaller fires that did not spread. They were more isolated. So some people take advantage of situations like this and they will use it to, get rid of property that they no longer want for insurance purposes. I also believe, personally, um, and this is just my personal take on what I have been witnessing. Um, I also believe that certain areas may have purposely been ignited. All right. But I'm not going to get too deep into that because I don't have proof. But this is just what I've been feeling intuitively. Certain ones that I've seen, I'm just hearing this was an arson, and certain ones that I'm seeing, I'm like, oh no, that's an actual wildfire, or it was started by accident. Usually, the fires that take place here are from homeless encampments. And if the winds are blowing like they are right now, we're having our annual Santa Ana winds, right? When the winds are blowing the way they are right now, then those embers get blown and then the fire spread. Okay, that's usually how it starts. Um, but there's also some that I do believe they're arsons, okay? Now, regardless of whether they're arsons or whether they were started accidentally or whether they were natural wildfires, because we know that, um, you know, sometimes forests will naturally ignite and burn things down and burn things away. That is a part of nature cleansing and purging itself. So let's talk about the element of fire, right? The element of fire, while it can be very destructive and uh, wreak havoc on environments and structures and even bodies and humans, right? And animals. It is also purifying. Okay. Fire is a form of cleansing, purging. Um, as a magician myself and a spiritualist, I use fire a lot to cleanse and purge myself of certain things that I no longer need. Okay. Um, Also, if you think about today, when you add up January 8th, 2025, it comes out to 18, and you reduce that down to the number nine. We are in a number nine year. Nine usually represents, and I'm saying usually because honestly, I'm a firm believer that numbers can represent different things for different people, depending on, where you are in life, depending on how you interpret it. And I always encourage my students and clients to tap into their higher awareness to create their own interpretations of dreams and numbers and messages and signs and things like that, instead of always running to a book or to Google or asking somebody else, because all of those meanings are interpretations of different people, pretty much, right? That we've adopted as the etched in stone meanings. But typically, nines represent the ending of cycles, okay? So we are going to be seeing the end of certain things taking place in 2025 and moving forward. Um, 2026 is 10, a 10 year, which is one starting over. Okay, new beginnings, new eras, new ways of doing things. So we are in the nine cycle right now where we are ending cycles. We're ending old ways of being. All right. And we're ready to do that. Most of us are ready to do that, right? But these endings are going to be very uncomfortable. Okay, very uncomfortable. And we're already starting it off fresh in the new year. We're only 8 days into 2025, according to the Gregorian calendar. Okay, because we know that our calendar is a little off. Okay, but nonetheless, this is the timeline that we honor and the timeline that we follow. So we're only 8 days into the new year, and already these things are taking place. On New Year's Day, we had a great big, um, I'm just going to say it. On New Year's Day, We had a sacrificial ritual. All right. We had a ritual of people being um sacrificed. All right. What took place down in New Orleans, as soon as I heard about it, immediately I said that was a ritual. Okay, that was a sacrifice. And there is a woman on here. Oh my goodness, and I forget the name of her channel. Beautiful South African woman who talks at length about the true meaning of New Year's Day and what that whole ritual is about, and the entity that governs that particular day, Janus, Janus, right? And also January. Okay. But if I can find her video, I will link it in the description so you guys can go and check that out. All right. Um, so with that being said, there is a lot of sacrificing happening right now, a lot of um deaths taking place, a lot of people leaving this earthly realm. And there's also a lot of endings of things. So there may be endings of relationships. There may be endings of, whole neighborhoods, as we're seeing right now here in LA. Um, People are losing their homes. That's an ending of a cycle right there, right? Because it's going to spark a new beginning. You're going to have a new beginning. You're going to have to start all over. Um, and so there's a lot of things taking place right now. And so it's really interesting that these fires started spreading so rapidly on this 9 day in a way that we've never seen before. Okay. So this also brings me back to the DNA mutation. All right. In that video, I talk about how um, it's the end of us, of our bodies as we know it, right? Our bodies are changing and adapting to this new energy that the earth is in right now, the new frequency that the earth is in. Um, and there's going to be more shifts and more elevations taking place. This is not the last shift, okay? And this will not be the last mutation of our DNA or the upgrade, all right? Everyone is not going to, who is receiving these upgrades and who, I think we're all getting the upgrade, but everyone's not going to survive it, okay? The ones who do survive the upgrade and the mutation are the ones who are going to wear a heavy crown, okay? Everyone does not have to accept their position or their purpose, so to speak. You don't have to accept it. You have free will. You do not have to say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be this, right? You don't have to accept it, okay? Um, if you don't accept it, though, things may be a little difficult for you, and that's just is not a punishment. That's just what happens when we are not walking in our purpose, right? We're not completely fulfilled. It doesn't mean that your life is going to fall apart and bad things are going to happen to you. It's just going to be maybe a feeling of, wow, I'm not really living my full purpose, or I'm doing this thing and it's cool, but something feels like it's missing or is off. Okay. So it could be just as simple as that. All right. But there's going to be many iterations of this elevation and this shift that takes place. And it's going to be happening rapidly, more rapid than I thought it would be happening. Things are happening so fast right now. Like, wow, I didn't think I would be alive to see some of this stuff, to be honest with you. I'm just keeping it real. A lot of the things that are taking place right now, I did not believe that I would see it in my lifetime. But it's happening that fast. And it's speeding up because we have, as a collective, as a human race, we have done a lot to this planet, right? Um, I was just having this conversation last night with Lavette, um, my partner on the other YouTube channel. We were talking after we wrapped up our live that we did last night. Go check that out. Um, and we were talking about the Georgia Guidestones. And if you've never heard of the Georgia Guidestones, you can just look it up. But basically, it's like this manifesto that's written out on etched in these stones in Edmondson, Georgia. And I believe it's at a park. I've never seen them up close, but I have read about them and I've read what was written on those stones. A lot of people are freaked out about what's written on those stones. When I read it personally, got to be honest with you, I was just like, yeah, that kind of makes sense to me. And basically what it's saying is that there's this planet is overpopulated and there's not enough resources to support the population on this planet. Now, I would say that there's more than enough resources to support the 7.58 billion people on this planet. However, the resources are being grossly misused. Okay. And that is the reason why it feels and it seems like we don't have enough water. We're running out of oil to supply our every need. And I mean, my goodness, I never really, I mean, I knew that we relied heavily on oil, but I never really thought about it until I started watching Landman. I don't know if you guys are watching that. It's on Paramount with Billy Bob Thornton. Really good show. But I didn't really realize how much we rely on oil for everything, everything. Okay. Down to products that we use every single day, not just gas, uh, you know, but for everything almost. Plastic, okay, water bottles, things like that. Um, but because we are grossly misusing the resources on this planet, we have everything we need, right? We had everything we needed. But because we decided to start capitalizing on the natural resources that no one really um, has a right to own and then sell again, okay? But because we have done that, we are now operating under a curse, okay? Whenever you misuse your power, your magic, your energy, you put yourself into a space, you put yourself into a position of being cursed, okay? It's not a punishment. It is just the cause and effect. It's the law of cause and effect. Okay. It's what happens. You did this thing and now this thing has happened. You had everything that you needed, but that wasn't enough for you. So you wanted to get more and you did whatever it took to get more. You hurt people. Okay. You've tapped the veins of the planet and have almost depleted her of her natural resource and looking to disturb the protected soils and protected parts of nature and ready to dismantle the protection of these parks and nature preserves and things like in reservations so that you can further tap the vein because we're running out, quote unquote. Okay. So, excuse me. A lot of what we're seeing right now is happening so that a lot of these natural disasters that are going to be taking place, right? Because we haven't even started to scratch the surface of the natural disasters that are getting ready to happen. And let me tell you, it's about to hit us heavy and hard, okay? Um, but we're getting ready to see a lot of this stuff happen because it is time to end the cycle of greed, and the gross misuse of the planet's natural resources. Okay. Now, there's going to be some people who are needed, who need to be here to populate or to take, or to not even populate, but to be the caretaker of the quote unquote new earth. All right. So we are going to see a lot of deaths taking place. We're going to see a lot of people are going to leave this planet. And this is the other thing that I have taught my students is how to accept death and be okay with death. All right. Then this may sound morbid, and I talked about this a couple of years ago, but it was something that I needed to do subconsciously, to prepare me. And I would purposely put myself in a position of loss where I'm imagining the loss of a loved one, not anyone particular, but just somebody that I really, really love, that I'm really close to, um, that I couldn't imagine being without. But I would purposely put myself in that position of, attending a funeral or, hearing about their loss. And I would put myself in that position so that I could feel the emotion and then I could prepare myself. I can feel the emotion and I can be accepting of the fact that I may be experiencing this at a level that is like insane. Okay. In preparation for all that is about to come. Um, because in order for us to be able to move forward and to be the caretakers of this so-called new earth, right? After everything is said and done, if I am still around, if I'm one of those people, I don't know if I'm one of those people or not, but if I am one of those people, if I survive all of these different upgrades and mutations and activation rituals that are taking place right now, okay, all around us. Um, COVID was an activation ritual as well, okay? I'll do a separate video on that. But COVID was an activation ritual, okay? In fact, I feel like it sparked the many activation rituals that have happened since then and that continue to happen. All of the activation rituals that I'm speaking of right now are environmental and have to do with the health of the physical body, okay? There are other activation rituals that have taken place as well, but those are more so dealing with society, okay? But right now I am talking specifically about things that directly affect our physical health, not necessarily our mental health, but our physical health, okay? So, um, we are going to be experiencing these activation rituals, and every time it happens, right? We're going to be feeling it in our physical bodies, okay? You're going to notice the shift and change happening in your body. It's going to feel like a sickness. It's going to feel like an ailment. It's going to feel like something that's making you want to run to the doctor, and you should go to the doctor. Listen, I am a holistic practitioner, but I am also an advocate for Western medicine because Western medicine does work, okay? When you are in the hands of a capable, caring practitioner who has well studied, who cares about the health and the well-being of their patients, who love what they do. Excuse me. I'm still dealing with my own issues, my own mutation over here, okay? So I apologize for coughing. But Western medicine can be highly effective, okay? So um, I do believe in going the holistic route, but I also believe in utilizing Western medicine when you need to. So go to the doctor, please. Go to the doctor, even if it's just to get a diagnosis for whatever you have going on, and then you're going to then use holistic things to help you overcome it, that's totally fine. But at least know what you're dealing with. I know people who won't go to the doctor at all. And I'm like, yo, that is like not the smartest thing in the world. Okay. Unless you are like a medical intuitive and you know what you're doing, or you have a medical intuitive that you work with, but most people don't. All right. So go to the doctor. That is my thing. You don't have to take the medications, but at least get an idea of what's going on with your body, especially now, especially right now. Okay. Because there's all kinds of new viruses that are being released. Some of them are man-made and some of them are natural. Okay. Um, so ending of cycles, right? New beginnings, the ending of what used to be, including us as in the physical body, right? Our old bodies are no longer able to withstand what's happening around us. So we're getting this mutation and this upgrade. And it is also a purging and a cleansing of us misusing the resources, okay, on the planet. That's not even speaking on the misuse of and the mistreatment of human beings and each other and children. Okay. I'm not even talking about that yet. But what I am talking about is we talk more about that on the other channel. Okay. So the deceptive figures exposed. We talk a lot about the mistreatment of humans um on that channel. But here, right now in this video, I'm talking about the misuse of the resources on the planet. All right. So that is it. That is it. Again, the fires are a purging and a cleansing. And just like with any type of purge or cleanse, it is difficult, it's uncomfortable, it can be painful. Okay. But in the end, it is necessary. In the end, it is necessary. So some things that we can do to be more prepared for these types of natural disasters. Okay, I'm saying natural, quote unquote, because some of it's natural and some of it is helped along and orchestrated. Okay. And then you have some people who just take advantage of what's going on and they use it as a time to further gain for themselves. All right. Um, how can we prepare for this stuff? Well, first and foremost, I would say you need to learn how, if you don't know how to meditate, start meditating. Okay. I mean, at this point, it's not even to not meditate at this point is insanity, and I get it. People are like, oh, meditation is so hard, I can't do it. All meditation is you choosing to return to a state of focus, even though you are having thoughts. And I'll talk more about meditation and how to do it and all that's really happening to you when you're in meditation and you feel like you can't focus and all of that. Your brain, your mind was designed to think. You cannot turn your thoughts off. Okay. Now you can focus your thoughts and train your thoughts. Okay. That takes practice. But you spending time with yourself and with source is very important. Whatever your source is for you, it's very, very important at this time. Why? Because you will need to be led by a higher guidance, an inner guidance. You're going to need to be led. Okay. And there's going to be things that you're going to be receiving downloads, instructions that are not in the news, that are not written down, that you're not going to be able to Google and find online. You're going to need to be able to be tapped in to that higher awareness, that higher consciousness within you. That's going to save lives. It's going to save your life, your family's life. I always say that in the event of a catastrophe, right? You may see a group of people running to the right, but you might hear your inner guidance say, go left, go down, go left and go down. You may see people running to the right and going up, but your inner guidance may say, go left and then go down, right? You need to be so tapped in that you can trust that guidance instead of saying, well, everybody else is going over here. I'm just going to go over here. And you might be running to your own end. Okay. So meditation, uh, spending time with yourself, asking questions, okay? Asking questions like, what are my next steps? What do I need to do right now? How can I prepare for what's coming? What are the things that I should do to prepare? Sometimes it will be exact instructions. Hey, you know, pack your bag up and get in the car and drive east or drive west. Okay. It might be instructions like that. Sometimes it's just do nothing. You're fine. Stay where you are. You're safe. But now, right now, this is the number one thing that we all need to do, and we need to get super tapped into the higher awareness. It is right now is really easy to tap into that higher consciousness, where before the density was a lot heavier, but it's actually lightening up because of the shifts that have been taking place in the, frequency wise for the earth. The density has actually lightened up. So now that communication flow is a lot easier for people to tap into. So the more you sit with yourself and the more you align with those messages, the easier it is for you to receive the instructions. Okay. So that's the number one thing that I would say. Of course, your usual, prepare, have your bug out bag ready and things like that, extra clothes, boots, whatever you need, just have it in your car, in your garage, set up, ready to go, whatever. Definitely do that. Have a plan of action, have an evacuation plan. I didn't have an evacuation plan until today. And it's amazing how quickly you come up with an evacuation plan when you need it, right? Luckily, I didn't need it, and I don't think I will need it. Okay. Especially because of the energetic protections that I've put around me and the visualization that I keep doing to shrink and extinguish the fires. I don't think that I'm going to need to use that evacuation plan right now, but maybe all of this happened for me specifically, maybe I'm experiencing these things right now so that I could have an evacuation plan. Okay. You see how that works? All right. So I'm going to end this video here. Definitely go check out the meditation that I just did. I uploaded that today. Check that out. Also, make sure that you subscribe to this channel as well as go over to the Deceptive Figures Exposed channel right now and subscribe. Okay. It's a new channel and we are really excited about it, and we want to grow the channel so that it can reach more people. But do that. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, share the video, leave some comments. If you have questions, leave them in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your night. And if I don't see you soon, enjoy the rest of your week and have a fabulous weekend. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time and your attention. And I will talk to you in the next video. Peace out.